This is chapter 26, Three Incredible Weeks from Lord Maher, page 3527. The year is 1954. Opens with a picture of Baba. This is in Mahabaleshwar. Interesting, yeah. Yeah, people alter this image sometimes to put one hand up, like the whirling, the Sufi whirling, Rumi's whirling. As he had stated he would, upon his return to Mahabaleshwar, Baba stopped all correspondence on any subject whatsoever until the end of May 1954. Meanwhile, Baba called Isa from Dehradun, the precocious but outrageously demanding sweeper's son. Baba ordered that he be treated like a prince, and Bao and Krishna were given the duty of serving as his attendants. They had to bring his food and place it on the table, clean his plates, make his bed, and generally do whatever he demanded. It was Baba's order that Isa be kept pleased and that he be, quote, treated as gently as a flower, end quote. For their own food, the Mandali had to trudge to Shahastra Buddha's restaurant every day, and there would always be confusion because Bao could not leave without first feeding Isa. Food was brought for the boy from the women's kitchen, but when it was placed before him on the table, Isa would seem disinterested and would not finish it quickly. Once Bao asked him, Isa, please eat your food. I have to go with the other men a long distance to the hotel for my meal. To this, Isa replied sharply, have you come to Baba for eating or obeying? Bao had no answer to this. What Isa said was true. The teenage boy had especially been brought to instill such lessons in forbearance for certain men Mandali. One day, Bao asked him, Isa, have you found employment here or not? Isa snapped. What have you to do with work? Don't mistake me for a sweeper. I can employ you and all your ancestors. And remember this, your pulse is in my hands. One word from me to Baba and you will be nowhere. Thus, one had to be cautious when dealing with Isa. He was indulged by Baba, given everything he wished, and attired in the best of clothes, anything to keep him happy. Here's a picture, a map. Arabian Sea on the left. After 2 weeks on Friday, 19 March 1954, accompanied by Mehera, Mani, and Meheru, Baba left Mahabaleshwar in Nariman's car with his driver. Erich, Rano, Gohar, and Naja rode with Adi Sr. in his car. Baba was on his way to Sakori, where he had agreed to perform the housewarming ceremony of Yeshwant Rao's newly built residence. They stopped first at Bindra House in Pune. Baba then traveled with Adi Sr., Meherji, Nariman, and Erich to Ahmednagar, leaving the women in Pune with Nariman's car until he returned. Traveling in Adi's car, Baba reached Ahmednagar at 2 that afternoon. After lunch at Vilu Villa, he went to Adi's office in Kushru quarters, where he met Gulmai and other close lovers such as Savak Damnyana, Rustam Kaka and his family, Paroja Dake, the Thade family, Kaka Chinchorkar, Rangola, Waman, Faram, Datu, Bhagirath, and Kokila, and Chugan and his family. Baba then left for Meherabad, stopping on the way at Akbar Press for half an hour. At Meherabad, he met Kaikobad's family, Mansari, Padri, Sidhu, Kalamama, Balatumbat, Jamadar, Savakotwal, Jungle, and their families. The Musks, Muhammad and Ali Shah, were also kept at Meherabad, and when Baba saw them, Muhammad latched onto Baba's hand and would not let go. Eventually, Muhammad was persuaded to allow Baba to leave. Baba went back to Sarosha's home for dinner, and then to Meherazad, where he spent the night. Kakabaria was residing in Meherazad alone, but he was caring for it as if Baba were physically present. He was expecting Baba daily to arrive because at times Baba would go there without prior notification. The property and rooms were always kept clean and well maintained. The situation was the same at Meherabad. Baba's rooms at Upper and Lower Meherabad were cleaned daily by Mansari and Sidhu. The men Mandali from Mahabaleshwar, which included Alaba, Bao, Gustaji, Pendu, and Kishan Singh, arrived in Ahmednagar late that night by public bus. There had been a terrible rainstorm on the way, and the roof of the bus had leaked badly. Despite holding old newspapers over their heads, everyone got wet, especially Gustaji. The leak over his head was the worst, and although he was asked repeatedly to move, he would not do it, and consequently got thoroughly soaked. At Ahmednagar, it became clear why Gustaji had refused to leave his seat. When everyone else had gotten off the bus, poor Gustaji remained, gesturing his stomach was upset. He could not get up because he had accidentally had a bowel movement and his pants were soiled. When his situation was remedied, the Mandali went to Sarosha's bungalow, Vilu, Viluvila, where they stayed the night. Yeshwant Rao, who had accompanied Baba to Amarpur and Andhra, was one of Sadguru Upasani Maharaj's chief disciples. As mentioned, he had recently built a new home in Sikori, and Baba had accepted his invitation to perform the housewarming ceremony. Sarosha arranged 2 buses for the Mandali and certain Ahmednagar lovers for the trip, and they left on the morning of 20 March at 6 a.m. Baba left an hour later from Meherazad, driven by Sarosh in his car. Meherji, Nariman, and Erich rode with them. Adi and Gulmai also went, as well as numerous Pune lovers. The Mandali arrived in Rahata at 8:30 a.m., and Baba's car arrived 5 minutes later. Since Baba was not scheduled to arrive until 9 a.m., Adi went ahead to inform Yeshwant Rao that they had come earlier. In the meantime, Baba got out of the car and started walking on the main road, Alaba holding an umbrella over his head. Adi returned and Baba left Rahata and arrived at the gates of Sakori village at 8:45 a.m. Upon his arrival in Sakori, Baba was welcomed by the residents of the Sakori ashram and villagers singing bhajans. A few rifles were fired in ceremonial salute. Baba's car stopped. He was garlanded with flowers. Tika, which is a vermilion mark, was applied to his forehead, and people started bowing down to him. Gulal, red-colored powder, was sprinkled over the hood of Sarosha's car, and garlands were placed on it in decoration. Baba's car was then taken in a procession to the ashram. A beautifully caparisoned horse and a band were in the vanguard, and on each side of Baba's car, men wearing red belts and carrying silver staffs formed an honor guard. The procession halted in front of Upasani Maharaj's old temple. Chuggan's brother, Vasant Deshmukh, the chief priest of Sikori, garlanded Baba and offered a coconut to him. Another coconut, which Baba touched, was broken and its water strewn on the road, sanctifying the area. Kirtans eh, were lovingly and vigorously being chanted. I guess that being is not necessary. Baba took a pair of finger cymbals from one of the kirtan singers and played it for a short time while sitting in the car. Stepping out of the car, Baba walked to the lavishly decorated pandal outside Reshwant Rao's newly constructed house, where he took his seat at 9:05 a.m. As soon as Baba approached the tent, Godavri Mai, the head of the Kanyas or nuns, garlanded him and bowed her head at his feet. The other Kanyas of Sakori, including Gigi, an elderly gray-haired woman who was a longtime resident of the ashram, did likewise after singing Baba's arti. Baba made Godavri sit on his left side and Gigi on his right. Gigi was so overcome that tears rolled down her cheeks. Baba patted her on the head. B.T. Waugh, or Wag, the manager of the ashram, stood before Baba, urging those taking Baba's darshan to be quick. Among the residents of the ashram was a woman named Usha Tipnis, who had had Baba's darshan in Amravati in 1952. Shantaram N. Tipnis, Usha's brother and the editor of a magazine titled Devotion, also bowed to Baba. And the side note says, S.N. Tipnis received his PhD from Pune University with a dissertation on Upasani Maharaj. He remained a lifelong bachelor and resident of Sikori, where he died in 1992. Baba and the others then left the pandal and entered Yeshwant Rao's new home. Baba took his seat in a room upstairs where he spelled out to Yeshwant Rao, "By my entering your house, the housewarming ceremony is done, and now nothing more by way of ceremony is needed." He turned to Godavri and stated, "This is most likely my last visit to Sikori. Do as I tell you. I will make you know me." Wow. Wag was standing outside the house, and Baba beckoned him to enter. Godavri Mai was the spiritual representative of Upasani Maharaj, Gigi, one of the 5 trustees of the estate, and Wag, as ashram manager, supervised all the activities there. After Wag entered at 9:25 a.m., Baba stated, "I will tell you today what happened during the last meeting between Maharaj and me at Dahigaon in 1941. I will make things clear in a message which will be read out today. I will also explain in detail how Upasani Maharaj played a dual role, how perfect he was, and who I am. When we meet, he ordered me to break my silence, knowing I would not do it. 3 times he told me, 'I am your guru, listen to me.' I said through hand signs, 'The time has not yet come. Soon, in a few months, I will break my silence. I am fed up with it, and when I speak, I will utter the original word. The whole universe has come around my neck because of my speaking this word in the beginning. How perfect my masters were, what I owe them, what I am, and why Maharaj played the dual role. All this I will explain. Baba concluded, stating, I am the Ancient One. While Baba was addressing Wag, Godavari Mai was standing at his side. Baba turned to her and stated, It will be good if you remain with me for as long as possible during the course of the day. Yeshwant Rao served tea to all and gave Baba a glass of orange juice, which he drank. Leaving the house at 9:50 a.m., Baba walked around the whoops, let me just go back. Walked around the ashram. That's all it was. Thanks. Oh yeah, okay. So I'm pausing the recording for a second to change readers. And any comments? Meher, you were here first. Do you want to read now or yes? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's resume the recording. Okay, it's going. This is Meher reading.
Gulmai was always with him, sitting down at one place on the ground. Baba, in a pensive mood, stated, I am everything and in everything. I am everywhere and know each and every little thing of each and every one. Baba next went to Upasni Maharaja's hut. Standing for a while outside the room, he again sat on the ground in the open, and the lovers and workers took this opportunity for his darshan. Baba remarked, I have stopped the touching of my feet, but since Godavari has touched them, today I permit all of you to touch them. At 10 a.m., Baba left the spot and was taken to Godavari Mai's new residential quarters. A swing on which Upasni Maharaj used to sit was hanging there. Godavari and the other kanyas beckoned to Baba to occupy it, which he did. The kanyas began singing the ancient song of the swing in honor of Lord Krishna, which they used to sing when rocking Maharaj. They sang in unison, and as they gently swung Meher Baba to and fro, it was as if Krishna himself was once more playing with his gopis. As Baba left, a Kanya shouted, Jai Upasni Maharaj, Jai Sadguru Godavari Mata, Jai Sri Sadguru Meher Baba. Coming out of Godavari Mai's room, Baba again sat on the ground underneath a tree outside Maharaja's hut. Quietude and peace pervaded the rural surroundings. The fingers of Baba's right hand were moving briskly. Everyone stood silently around him like statues. For 5 minutes, Baba sat immersed in his work and then went to Godavari's old room, where he sat down in a chair. Next, Baba visited the small room in the temple where Maharaj used to sit. Baba sat on the mattress on the floor. He beckoned the elderly nun Gigi to sit beside him. You are very fortunate, he remarked to her. My mind and intellect are at your feet, Gigi replied. Nothing belongs to me. Handing her some candy as prasad, Baba spelled on the board, I am eternally happy and yet no one suffers as much as I do. I am blissful yet miserable. Usha Tipnis asked for his blessing, and Baba replied, You must love me to such an extent that you lose yourself and then find me. Do you understand this? Usha nodded that she did. To say so is easy, Baba replied, but to do is difficult. How will you do it? Everything is in your hands, Usha answered. That is also well said, but you should think of me of such an extent that there remains no room for any other thought except my continual remembrance. Then I am with you. This should be done with 100% honesty.
Hmm.
As Baba was leaving the temple room, Gigi, pointing to a photograph of Maharaj on the wall, informed Baba that once a noise like a gunshot was heard emanating from the photograph. Baba touched the picture and told Gigi he was happy to hear that. At 10:15 a.m., Baba entered Upasni Maharaja's hut, where a number of men and women had already gathered and were singing devotional songs. Baba sat down on a cushion on the stone flooring. One of Maharaja's devotees said a few words in Marathi welcoming Baba's visit. And Vasant then entertained Baba with his combined singing and humorous gesturing, which made Baba laugh very much. There are pictures of Sakori where Baba is in front of a building with an arch and there is singing program. Yeah. March must be sunny, so there is umbrella on Baba. And Baba is happy listening to a singer, I think the one who was referred as Vasant. He was combining singing with humorous gesturing. It is possible, I think.
Nice,
Well,
that,
huh?
nice that the men and women are sitting together there.
Mm.
I wonder if that's Gigi on the left there. Oh no, that might be Gigi.
Yeah, the older one might be Gigi and Godavari Mai on the right.
Yeah. And look at this little girl here.
Yeah.
And little boy here. It was nice. Oh, whoops, sorry, we're recording. Let's go on.
Yeah. At 10:35 a.m., Baba walked to Upasni Maharaja's Samadhi, where Godavari and the Kanyas were sitting. Baba took a seat exactly facing Maharaja's tomb. At this point, a message was to be read, which had been already dictated and typed in advance. But instead of asking someone to read it, Baba conveyed the following via the alphabet board to Godavari, Gigi, Wagh, D.S. Purandare, and all the residents of the ashram. It spoke as Baba dictated. I want all of you to listen very carefully. Today is the first time that I am revealing certain points. Because after having realized my eternal state, this is my second and last visit to Sakori. Upasni Maharaj is now witness to what I say. He is living and he hears all that I say. Now I will have to go back to, in brackets, describe. Now I will have to go back to my life in its early stage. Before I say this, I want you all to know that one of the aspects of God is infinite honesty. The least hypocrisy and dishonesty keeps us aloof from God. When I was young in school, I was the leader of the boys, and even when I entered college, I was a leader of boys. Bold, brave, but shy of women. And in the present life, I have not yet touched a woman in the way of a man. When I was Ram, Krishna, Jesus, It was different. Buddha was married and had to give up his family. I'm coming to one very important point that will dispel all doubts. Maharaj had to undergo all these experiences with women in my place, and that began at a certain point, which will make you all understand how perfect he was. Babajan first kissed me on my forehead, and that made me in an instant experience my infinite state. Now I will explain that, and now I will explain what that Anubhav experience is, which really cannot be expressed. I all of a sudden entered a vacuum, and only consciousness remained. But how should I make you understand this? I was not there, nothing was there, nobody, no Akash, in brackets sky, space, nothing. But consciousness was there. And I was lost in the consciousness, and then I immediately got the consciousness that I am this, in brackets, this consciousness. And that bliss cannot be expressed even by me. That bliss is continual even now, but added to it now is misery and suffering of the whole universe. After the state of 9 months, I was absolutely unconscious of everything except that I am God. And something urged me to come down to normal consciousness. I used to dash my forehead against the walls, stones, grounds, iron bars, and my forehead used to bleed. But normal consciousness was not there. Even in my infinite state of bliss, that urge brought me to where Maharaj was in the Khandoba temple at Shirdi. Now, see this paradox. I saw no one but myself everywhere, and when Maharaj saw me, he flung a stone at me which hit me on the forehead. Immediately, when it struck me, in an instant I came down to normal consciousness. Then I had both the infinitely divine and ordinary human consciousness in me. Maharaj told Durgabai about it, and she began loving me, and she had loved Maharaj. For some time, Maharaj told the Mandali, what I have given to Meherwan. And after that, a dual role began to be played by Maharaj, simultaneously made Durgabai jealous and began talking against me. He was now all alone in his work, but he had entrusted me with my ancient experience. He began something that made Durgabai jealous. Durgabai, who loved me and Maharaj 100%, who served both of us 100%, began to feel jealous and upset. Maharaj did that purposely, and he began telling people, I have given nothing to Mirwan.
Okay, I paused the recording. If there's any comments. So Durgamai was a Sadguru.
Durgabai is
Durgabai, yeah.
not referred as Sadguru.
I think she was referred to as a Sadguru.
That is Godavari Mai.
Oh, good. Oh, right. You're right. Who is Durgabai?
He was the leader of the Kanyas, the women.
Oh,
the-
and
oh.
Godavri Mai was who?
Wait a minute.
Any relation?
Wait a minute. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm wrong.
Yeah, I
So
think
I think
Meher said, oh, go ahead, Meher.
my best ideas is Durgabai is a worker who attended to all the needs of Upasni Maharaj. One of the disciples. Durgabai sounds like she used to, like in the stories, I think she used to arrange meals, I think, meals or cook meals. I may be wrong, but Godavari Mai is the chief disciple of Upasni Maharaj.
Yeah. Huh. And maybe I misread it that
It was mentioned Sadguru Godavari Mai ki Jai and Sri
yeah,
Sadguru Meher Baba ki Jai. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what That's what I was remembering, that, whoops, what's all this nonsense? Oh, I can't stand it when you touch something on the computer and is it
I
this
can
one?
quickly search if you want. Durga.
Okay, it's this one, yeah.
We're not seeing anything. We're just seeing the page.
Oh, good. Oh, good. Yeah. Let's see. Hmm. Oh, right here. Jai Upasani Maharaj, Jai Sadguru Godavrimata, Jai Shri Sadguru Meher Baba. Well, somebody had to take Upasani Maharaj's place, right? As a perfect master, even though the avatar was in form. I mean, I think there's always 5 perfect masters, even with the avatar here, but could be wrong. Okay, where did we stop?
We can't see your screen if you are sharing.
You can't see the screen?
No, we see Honey Bunny has paused screen sharing.
Oh.
I see it. Huh.
Oh, yeah, it does say that. Like, huh. Let me stop the share and restart it. I think all that looking around taxed my computer. You see it now, right?
Yeah.
I think we got here. This is where we got to. Yeah, let me just look. Yeah, we just read this part about Durgabai jealous, right?
Yeah.
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 Betty, do you want to read next, or Marvin?
I'll read. Marvin's maybe not there.
Yeah, maybe. He wasn't feeling well yesterday. Maybe it. Okay. Okay,
I
one
don't see
second.
him. Yeah.
Let me resume the recording.
Can you make it any bigger? Oh, wait, I got it. I got it. Okay. I made it.
Oh, oh, good.
Okay. Start right there. And it was true?
Yes. Thank you, Betty.
Okay. And it was true. What was there to give? He made me know my real state, but he played his dual role with the perfection of which he was the personification. When I was in Mehrabad, Raghunath, Durgabai's son, came to me and said, Baba, you must save Maharaj. I said, why? He replied, Maharaj called me and Durgabai and said, see, I am now overpowered with lust, and so I must take this step. Are you going to read the footnote or not?
Okay, if you don't see it.
No, I don't see it.
Okay. This quote unquote step refers to Maharaj's work of marrying the Kanyas, who were referred to as his quote unquote spiritual wives. Upasani Maharaj was beyond sex, and his marriage to these close women disciples was absolutely pure. Close note. End of note.
I told him, Raghunath, you don't know Maharaj. Tell Durgabai not to lose her head. Durgabai, even Durgabai, who has served him 100%, does not know him. Tell Durgabai not to lose her trust in him, even if he does anything that seems devilish. In short, I heard much over this point from others, but it was because the ways of the masters are unfathomable. Okay, another footnote.
After this incident, as events unfolded, Durgabai and her son were forced to leave Sakori. But this was a ruse, and part of Maharaj's work with Durgabai and Godavari Mai. From an external view, it appeared Durgabai ended up destitute, living in a home for women in Sholapur. Near her death, Maharaj, dressed in disguise as a woman, went to her and explained that her becoming an outcast and her mental and physical suffering were necessary for her ultimate liberation, which Maharaj indicated Durgabai received upon her death. End of note.
Okay, then, after some time, when Maharaj said other things against me, I sent Gulmai to him, and he once told Gulmai, "Tell Merwan, my days are near. Come and take charge of Sakori." He knew that I would not go there, and he had to establish what he had done now. He was so perfect that he said things as if he did not know. Now I want to tell you that I know because I know everything about Maharaj's external life until he left his body. I know in detail because I was in him and he was in me. What I had to do with women, Maharaj did for me, and what he had to do with the West, I did for him. Then, when I saw that he was near to dropping his body, I arranged the meeting at Daigon. Now listen very carefully, because this is very important for you all. When I first saw him as he entered the hut at Daigon, on the doorstep, I touched his feet with my forehead. He lifted me up, embraced me, and wept for 15 minutes like a child. Then we both sat in that hut. Maharaj said to me, "Break your silence." I, with signs, said, "The time has not come." In all, 3 times he pressed me to break my silence, although he knew that I would not break it. Then he made me promise one thing about his dear, beloved Godavari. And I promised, and so today I am here and will fulfill my promise. Now, while I was on the boat going to the west, Gandhiji was on the same boat. He came for 3 nights to my cabin. He said a lot of things, and I explained a lot of things. All of a sudden, he said, "I had been to Upasni Maharaj, but he did not impress me as you do." I said, "What are you impressed with?" "What you are impressed with in me is due to him." I explained this to him. In the end, he said, "Now, this oppression is too much. Break your silence and give a message to the world." I said, "Soon, soon," and 22 years have passed. But now, really, in a few months, I will have to break my silence. What I tell you today is witnessed by the 5 masters to whom I owe what I am. I am the Ancient One, the one without a second. Soon a very serious, painful illness will befall me, and then I will break my silence with that one original word. That will be followed by my humiliation, then glorification, and all of a sudden a violent physical death. All this will happen within a year. I am the Ancient One. Be very honest in whatever you do, even in loving me 100%. Be honest, and honesty will make you love God so that you lose yourself in Him and find me as your own self. Although God is beyond all ceremonies and rituals, I want you to understand that whatever Maharaj has entrusted you to do, follow it faithfully, honestly, 100%, not because of ceremonies, but because Maharaj told you. But for heaven's sake, do not make it just mechanical. It will then bind you rather than free you. Let all be done with all your heart in it. Then you will know that all is illusion and God is the only reality. And unless you have that experience and continual bliss, that continual existence, continually infinite, all else is just bunkum. If millions of people placed their heads on your feet, garlanded you, called you a Sadguru, and if you have not got that experience, then what is the use of all this? And even if the whole world goes against you and you have that experience, then you do not mind, because it is you who do it. So today I am happy, and I will break my silence before the end of this year. Then there will be humiliation, glorification, and then dropping of the body. When Baba finished, he was in a good mood. How fine it would be if we have a game of marbles, he said. Today I feel so happy. And for a few minutes they played marbles. Yeshwant Rao also took part in the game, and after Baba was the best shot. Before leaving Upasni Maharaj's Samadhi at 11:20 a.m., at the request of the Sakori devotees, Baba sprinkled rosewater over the marble impression of Maharaj's feet, and also on everyone present. Again, Maharaj, Godavari, and Meher Baba's Jai were shouted. Baba walked back to Yeshwant Rao's house where Godavari, Gigi, and the other Kanyas served him lunch. Baba put a few morsels in Godavari's mouth, and after his meal instructed that the remainder of the food be distributed as his prasad for those present. At noon, Baba visited the room of an old devotee of Maharaj's, Bairam Dastur, who was ill. Baba asked about his health, told him not to worry, and touched his head. Baba visited Wag's room and also then that of an old Parsi, Nusirwan Gustad Barucha. Footnote:
Nusirwan Barucha was the paternal uncle of Dr. Hoshang Barucha of Navsari, who also had close connection with Maharaj's Sakori ashram, but who would later become a devoted disciple of Meher Baba. End of note.
Barucha loved Maharaj deeply and was residing in the ashram. As Baba was leaving the room, the old man uttered a Persian couplet and then whispered, "Baba, you are God." Baba came out of the room and began walking about in the open. Many gathered, and Baba permitted them to take his darshan. He sat down under a bamboo shed near Maharaj's hut and asked Rustam Kaka, his wife Sila, Kaku, and their son Manek to sing. When they had finished the song, O Govardhan Girdhari, who will take care of me except you? Another footnote.
Govardhan and Girdhari are two names for Lord Krishna. Godardhan means the cowherder, and Girdhari means he who moved the mountain. End of note.
Baba quipped, I take care of everyone, but no one takes care of me. Someone told Baba that Dake had eaten a lot of ladus. Sending for him, Baba asked, How many ladus did you eat? Smiling, Dake replied, None. Those who have told you this have no sense. They don't know that Baba is the sole doer. I know that Baba is the doer, the deed, and everything. So how could I have eaten ladus? It is Baba who ate them. And they may ask you how many you have eaten, if they wish to know. All burst into laughter, and Baba remarked to Godavari, See his legal mentality. Dake was a lawyer. Pleased with Rustam Kaka's melodious voice, Baba at 1:20 p.m. told him, When there was nothing but the beyond state of God, some urge made me sing to know who am I, and that has made me bear the burden of the whole creation. Now, once again, I will sing that song and become free. This is a fact. To explain about the seventh shadow, Baba asked Gulmai to try to speak through her closed mouth. And when she did it, the sound that came out resembled Om. Baba said, "This sound of Om that has emanated from Gulmai's mouth is the seventh shadow of the original sound. Were anyone to hear this original sound, he would really go mad and begin tearing off his clothes. This sound can be heard on the fifth plane. Begin tearing his clothes. This sound can be heard on the fifth plane." These days, Kaikobad is having a wonderful experiences. He actually sees the sun and the moon coming out of his eyes and passing through his body. Baba in their midst. At times he becomes dazed, but such an experience is a spiritual phenomenon, not realization. I am not as you see me. Only the truth is real and everything else is nothing. The human ego cannot visualize spiritual experience. It is all so simple to grasp, but its very simplicity makes it infinitely difficult. This self itself is ignorant of self, capital S self. And how can ignorance, the human ego, experience knowledge, the real, even if one of you understands it?
The real I.
The real I, I'm sorry, the real I. Even if one of you understands it, I will be very happy. Why can't this be understood? The reason is that he who gains divine consciousness comes down to normal consciousness and is simultaneously on every level and on every plane. Just as I am now on your level, which means that I am like you, I talk like you, sit on the ground like you, but at the same time I am on all levels of consciousness. One who has consciousness sees me there. But there is a difference in seeing. Yet ultimately, when knowledge dawns, it is found that everything is illusion because I am the one in all. This is all illusion and a zero. A zero has value if linked to a number, otherwise, as zero, it is a big zero. Baba then addressed Godavari. By the end of this year, I will surely drop my body. There will be a great spiritual upheaval when I break my silence and drop my body. But I will come back after 700 years, when Maharaj will have to come back to bestow on me my ancient state.
Perfect masters do not come back. This is the side note. Perfect masters do not come back into creation after they have died. Only the avatar returns in different forms, age after age. This statement refers to the future perfect master who will play the same role as Upasani Maharaj played for Merwan. End of note. And let me pause the recording as we change the reader for. Let me pause for a second. Recording. This is Marvin reading.
Baba asked Gulmai to relate what Upasani Maharaj had told her about him years before in Sakori. Gulmai said, Maharaj once told me that Merwan would come here and sit in this place. You are sitting on the very spot pointed out by Maharaj. Maharaj also said that many persons would be present here before you, and you would deliver a discourse. All this has been fulfilled today. Baba explained. All this is a delusion. Whatever you see, what you hear, and what you think is all illusion. Whatever you see externally, that too is imagination. But its grip is so tight that you cannot free yourselves. You are the possessors of infinite knowledge, infinite power, and infinite bliss. But you are also so helpless due to the grip of illusion that reality has slipped out of your hands. For instance, you are all sitting here, but in actuality, you are all not sitting here, nor will you get up and go anywhere because of this illusion. You feel as if you do. You have to free yourselves from this illusory grip, which in fact does not exist. It is actually as if you are dreaming. In the dream, you play, you eat, and do many things. But in truth, you don't do a thing. While you are dreaming, suppose I appear in your dream and tell you that you are dreaming. Still, you will go on dreaming, and my telling will not help awaken you in the Scroll. Scroll. I don't see it. I don't see it. I need the screen to go. Scroll.
Eugene, you got to scroll up. It's not happening. It's not moving.
Maybe Gene's frozen.
Oh,
Ah,
there.
okay. It is actually as if you are dreaming. In the dream, you play, you eat, you do many things, but you don't do a thing. All right, we read that already. While you are dreaming, suppose I appear in your dream and tell you that you are dreaming. Still, you go on dreaming, and my telling you will not awaken you in the least. However much you are told that you are dreaming, that will not put an end to your dream. You would only go on dreaming. But when I slap you soundly, you will immediately be awakened, and your dream will end. In the same way, to awaken you from your present dream of sitting here, such a slap is necessary. However much I explain to you now that you are dreaming, and that all this, you're sitting in front of me, talking, moving about, eating, drinking, and so forth, is all a dream. It will be of no use to you because you will not understand it. But if I were to slap you, if my grace were to descend on you, you would be awakened automatically, and instantly you would realize me. You will then know that all this is a dream. The whole creation is a dream, and that you are dreaming day and night. Japa and tapa, repetition of God's name, and penance or austerities, are also a dream. All these acts create bindings. Fasting, too, is a binding. To eat is a binding. To escape from this bondage, leave everything to Baba and dedicate to him, in all honesty and with full sincerity, your everything. The meaning of dedication is that whatever good or bad you do during the 24 hours, attribute them to me. The meaning of this is that you must have full and firm faith that Baba is the sole doer and you do nothing. You should not even have a thought of doing anything. And the belief that I do everything should be so rock-like and natural that you truly feel that Baba does all. But it is extremely difficult to follow this. All my discourses and my spiritual literature have no meaning. They have no substance in them. My present state is due to one kiss from Babajan. Never will this state be realized by studying any literature, religious or spiritual. Wag said, but for the grace of the master, there must be some preparedness. Something has to be done to prepare the ground. In reply, Baba dictated, carry out Maharaja's orders with all honesty and faith. Whatever he has ordered you about the rites and ceremonies, do accordingly, but don't attach any importance to them. Do them to keep Maharaja's wish, but not mechanically or as part of the routine. Do them with all your heart. Occasionally, I order the mandali to fast without water for 24 hours. Every one of the mandali at that time keeps count of the time. 1 hour has passed, 5 hours have passed, now only 2 hours are left. And no sooner 24 hours are over, they rush to drink water, and they take so much water that their stomach is full, and they forget about their appetite. They have no hunger left, although during the course of the fast they were counting every minute. So such a fast turns out to be a mechanical fast, and they cannot even relish the food which they were looking forward to every moment during the fast. So these rites and rituals should not be mechanical, but quite natural. There should not be the least tinge of show, as show belittles the significance of everything. Now Baba is sitting here on this ground. It is a natural sitting position and has nothing to do with spirituality or for the sake of show. Still, if people have contrary thoughts, let them have them. I am what I am. So whatever the Sadguru orders should be followed 100%, but with real love and not mechanically. Baba concluded this discourse with, Upazi Maharaj was the first who told me I was the avatar. Today I know that I am the avatar. Since eternity, everything existed. In eternity, there is nothing like time. It has no beginning and no end. Those sitting here were there before and are today. There is no change in their continuity. But this is all a play. Happiness and misery, too, are a play. By sitting on the stone floor, Godavri's legs had become stiff and she was feeling uncomfortable. This reminded Baba of an event that happened before he regained normal consciousness. I told a lover of mine named Badar to pour a bucket full of human excrement over me, and he did it after collecting it from latrines. I was sitting naked in one posture. The dirty waste dried on my body's skin, making my limbs stiff. After 36 hours, when I got up, came out of that state, it was cleaned by Baramji and Syed Saheb, but my body had become rigid. After 2 days massaging, I was able to move about. So I know what stiffening of the legs feels like. Afterward, at 2:15 p.m., a singer named Jagannath sang a song of Shankar and Parvati, and Baba joined him in accompaniment, drumming his fingers on his alphabet board as if playing a drum. Footnote. Oh, gee, I can't see it.
Can you read it? The footnote, Jean? You got to unmute, Eugene.
Thank you. Sorry, I forgot I was muted. Footnote. Shankar is another name for Shiva, whose wife was Parvati. End of note.
It was hot under the shed, and Baba's forehead was damp with perspiration, which Erich wiped away a few times. Then, between his two fingers, Baba began spinning his board, as he used to do at times. He handed the board to one of the Kanyas to twirl. She tried, but could not do it. Then Dake tried, but without success. Baba stated, There is none in the world as happy and miserable as me. If all the happiness of the whole world were put together and compared with my bliss, it would only be the seventh shadow of that real bliss. People credit me with miracles, but the truth is that I have done no miracles up to now. When I break my silence, I will perform the greatest miracle. Just as by switching on the electric light, due to connection with the powerhouse, there is light. Similarly, those connected with me will receive the light when I utter the word. He added, Violence to my body will be done. It will be cut into pieces. This has been happening since my first avatarhood. Honesty is the real thing. No one should try to pose as more than what he really is. I am quite honest in asserting that I am God. Had I not promised Upasni Maharaj, I would have been free and would not have come here. I will break my silence, and all that is to happen will happen before the end of December 1954. Baba left the bamboo shed at 2:40 p.m. and retired to Yeshwant Rayo's residence. One of Baba's toes was bleeding as he had stubbed it on a stone while sitting on the ground. A Kanya named Prabha started to clean it by wiping the blood on her sari. Baba stopped her, and Erich cleaned it with cotton. Baba's feet were washed by Yeshwant Rao and his family, and puja was performed before Baba. The water was distributed as prasad among those present. Yeshwant applied sandalwood paste to Baba's forehead and presented him with a set of new clothes, a white sadra, pink coat, and Kashmiri shawl. Baba put on the coat immediately, embraced Yeshwant Rao, and blessed his household. After visiting the ashram's library, Godavri's uncle, Baba entered the room of one of the Kanyas, named Gita, who was bedridden. Baba touched her face, comforted her, and gave her a rose petal to eat, instructing her to take his name. At 3 o'clock, Baba visited Maharaja's room, where the Kanyas again rocked him in Maharaja's swing. Baba asked Godavari, "Will you be staying at Sukori during April and May?" She said she planned to go to Lanavla during those hot summer months. Baba then stated, "The West wants me there, but I will not be going, as I have to do some special work connected with the breaking of my silence." Advising Godavari, he spelled out, "Do your duty 100% by following Maharaja's instructions in every way, and all the Kanyas have to do their duty too." Wag beseeched Baba for his help in loving him more, and Baba assured him, "I will not allow you to fail. Even if you fail me, I will not fail you. Remember this." Baba again emphasized to Godavari to do as Maharaj had instructed her. "You should not in the least think you are responsible for what others do. Whatever you do, do with the understanding that it is not you but Maharaj who is doing it." Baba distributed prasad, first to Godavari, then to all. Kirtans were being sung as he handed it to each. At 3:45 p.m., he embraced Yeshwant Rao, touched Godavari and Gigi on the head as a sign of affection, and headed back for Ahmednagar. Stopping his car at 4:10 p.m., Baba called a group of people to come out of the two buses that were following his car and gathered them around him. As he took the alphabet board from Erich, most of the painted zero figure fell away. Reviewing what had happened at Sukori, Baba spelled on the board, "In my last meeting with Maharaj, he asked me to have his Nazar on Godavari and Sukori. Maharaj asked me 3 times to break my silence. He then said, 'You are Adi Shakti, the primal power. Keep your Nazar on Godavari, Sukori, and the other Kanyas.' I feel happy that Godavari is a real woman. She is taken as a Sadguru, as chargeman of Upazi Maharaj. She knows she has not that experience, yet because Maharaj has instructed her, she is carrying on with the work honestly. When Godavari met me in Ahmednagar, I said something privately to her in front of Adi Sr., which she accepted. Parentheses or brackets, not to allow people to worship her and bow down to her, which Baba did not like. Now today, what did you see? All were saying Sadguru Godavari Ki Jai. In spite of that, as soon as I reached the spot this morning, this woman garlanded me and bowed down to me. She made me sit on the swing, which was used by Maharaj, swung it with her own hands, and asked the other Kanyas to do the same. And she sang the song in accompaniment with the others, which they used to sing during Maharaj's time. She served me food with her own hands. And while I was distributing prasad, You all must have marked how she was working with Yeshwant Rao. When I gave her prasad, she placed her head on my feet. What does all this show? In spite of the respect which so many give to her, it is her love for me, her humility and nobleness, that made her receive me as she did. Her humility in itself is greatness, and I love her for it. What I mean is, in short, she is really a lovable woman. The atmosphere at Sakori was against me, as Adi, Krishnaji, and Yeshwant Rao know well. But today Godavari has felt deeply, and I feel happy that a marked change has taken place in the atmosphere. I asked her privately, "Will you do one thing?" She said, "If I can do it in this Brahmin atmosphere." I then told her one very simple and difficult thing, and she has accepted it, which was not to accept homage. I said, "If you do this, you will see me." And she promised. She is really a good woman. Really, you do not know what she has sacrificed. Today, the promise which I have given to Maharaj is fulfilled by Godavari's accepting to follow the one instruction I have given her. Summing up, Baba declared to the group, "The key to the whole universe is in my hands. The pulse of the entire creation is controlled by me. Today, the zero has been torn." Baba was referring to the cracked figure on his alphabet board, and Erich interjected, "But only 3/4 of it has gone. 1/4 is still there on the board." All laughed at this remark. Reverting to Godavari Mai, Baba concluded, "She is really good. You don't know what she has accepted to carry out. In her, I find real womanhood." Leaving Sakori at 4:30 p.m., Baba returned to Ahmednagar, where he bid goodbye to Gulmai. He, Erich, Naraman, Meherji, and Adi Sr. continued on to Pune, where Baba spent the night, and the next day at Bindra House. He met several of his Pune lovers, such as Gadekar and Adi's nephew Behram. On the 21st, Baba and the women visited Adi Jr. and his wife Braini's home in Wanori. That afternoon, a Qawwali program was held at Bindra House, arranged by Jalbai and Adi Sr. Baba was pleased with the performances. He and the women returned to Mahabaleshwar on Monday morning, 22nd March, 1954. Driven in Naraman's car and followed by Adi Sr. with a few others. The men Mandali had stayed at Sarosha's home after returning from Sakori and returned to Mahabaleshwar on the 21st.
And thank you, Marvin. And we'll stop here for today and pick up next week. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, everybody. Jai Baba.